Good.
Hello.
Oh, you beat me to the punch this time. Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Marvelous. I was gonna say something else this time. I was thinking about on my bathroom break. I was like, okay, I'm gonna hit Sam with the "How are you today?" instead of "How are you going?" and I just completely blew it. Crap.
It went horribly wrong. All your plans are ruined.
Exactly. I just really beefed it immediately. I'm the improv master.
Oh, you're so good at it.
Thank you. Thank you. I also have questions prepared, actually.
Oh,
Yes, I wrote them down. I'm gonna
questions
show.
and brainworms. This should be fun.
These are the questions I wrote down. I don't know if you all can see that, but like it's just written on a folded up piece of envelope.
There's no professional.
Yes, thank you, I know. It's called recycling or something.
Yep.
That's my excuse. Anyway, Sam,
Yes.
your game before we leave that you worked on for so long is now on a console. How does it feel?
Yes. I think the appropriate phrase is Kermit flail. It's
Um,
pretty amazing.
did you ever think it would happen? Like when you
Nah.
yeah, really?
No, I didn't. No.
Wow.
We wondered about it and we wondered about it and it's like, oh, maybe we'll do that. And then we were like, yeah, no, that's never going to happen. Just move on with other things. And then Team 17 came along and we're like, hey, how about we port the game?
Shout out to Team 17 and Do Games or Do Software as they've called on Twitter. I learned that one the
Yeah.
hard way. um, for helping us port before we leave and bring it to
Absolutely.
Xbox. Yeah, couldn't have done it without them. Is it pretty rare for a little company like us here in New Zealand to do this? What we've done, like go to EGS, go to Steam, um, also be on Mac. Can't forget Mac, and then also come to Xbox and Game Pass. I think that's pretty rare.
Um, Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I know that, for example, 39 Days to Mars is on all the
Mm.
consoles. But that's made by one guy, so he can be real agile and just kind of do what he likes.
Yes, true that.
And had more experience of the full games industry going in. And that was part of the problem is, I originally made the game sort of not having a clue about where it was going to go. So there was no pre-thought about how we'd do consoles or anything,
Mm.
which is why we needed a experienced team to come in and do it. But it's turned out great, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah. I'm really looking forward to um, sitting down at some point today, or maybe even this evening, and playing before we leave on the Xbox. Do you have any more thoughts on like Xbox stuff and Game Pass, or do you wanna move on?
Um, Nothing particular. I mean, it's early days. We've only just released it, so it's been amazing seeing the response. But it's going to be
Mm.
really interesting seeing sort of longer term how it goes.
Yeah.
This is all an experience and a learning process of figuring out how things go.
Absolutely. So, chat and people watching on YouTube, ask us in a year how we feel about before we leave coming to Xbox, and we should have some thoughts for you. Okay, my next question on my envelope.
Ooh.
I didn't want to talk about the update straight away because I often ask you that straight off the bat. So we're doing something different this week. Um,
Are we?
Not super different. Sorry to give you an anxiety attack live on the internet. just just a slightly different question.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I heard your eyes just like pop out of your head. They're like, "What? No, what are you doing to me?" Um, do you have any ponderings about game development by any chance? Any thoughts or
Oh my
feelings?
gosh.
Yeah, get ready.
Just rock into the hard ones.
You'd love to see it.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't.
Um, any musings about game development?
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome, but sometimes it sucks.
Oh wow. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Um, what makes it awesome, and why does it suck sometimes?
Because the creative journey sucks sometimes, and like I remember when I was first working on it, like full time, I'd come out of the studio sometimes and be like to Anna, be like, "Oh, this sucks. Nothing's working. How am I
Mm.
ever going to do this?" And then the next day, I'd be like, "Oh, this is awesome. I'm having so much fun." And it was quite a roller coaster.
Oh man.
Um,
Yeah.
but then it's awesome because you're getting to make something cool, and then people play it and like it, and it affects people's lives, and that's just amazing. I mean, I've worked in software all my life, so I've done things that have people have used, but it's always and I've even done some creative things like working
Mm.
in children's TV and stuff. But this is so much more immediate because it's my thing, and I'm there
Mm.
on the forums and the discords and things, hearing people comment about the game rather than just I make it and chuck it over the wall to someone else and then they do their things with it.
Yeah. So your baby that people
Mm,
are interacting with and commenting on, that's terrifying.
yep,
Do you feel like you went
terrifying, but it's awesome too.
Yeah, for sure. A healthy dose of both, I
Yeah,
think. Before I ask my next question, which I may or may not remember because it's completely off the cuff, but uh, just a thought that I had when we hit 50,000 sales last year on the Epic Games Store. The average PAX Australia attendance is about 50,000.
wow,
Um, Maybe more when you include like the exhibitors and guests and that sort of thing. And I
yeah,
was like, oh my god, the amount of people that have bought our game and played it could all attend PAX Australia, and it would be like a full attendance, sold out.
that's nuts.
Yeah, I wanted to like lie on the floor and just kind of comprehend it. I even might have, I can't remember, it's too long ago now, but um, yeah, that was an incredible realization. Do you feel like you went through any sort of emotional process or maybe even a creative one to get to a point where you were like, okay, I am as a human being, as a professional, as someone uh, in the middle of their working career, I am now ready to make something that people will interact with. And if you did go through a sort of conscious process or even a subconscious one, can you remember what it was?
I don't think I did.
Hmm.
I mean, I just kind of followed the next thing, which is what I've tended to do all through my career.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it's like Anna finished her master's thesis, so it was my turn to do something, and I wanted to get back into game dev, so I did. Just as a hobby with no expectations, and then I had a game that was working out, so I figured, no, enter this into a competition, see how it does.
Yeah.
Again,
Okay.
with no expectations, and it did well. Um, and it just kind of grew from there. I never really thought, am I the right person, or do I need to give myself permission to do this or anything? It was just like, yeah, do the next part in the process,
Damn.
and there we wind up. I'm not a very self-analytical person,
Mm.
so I just kind of, do the thing, and it works out or it doesn't.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty incredible. Did you ever have a moment where you were like, oh god, okay, this is happening? Oh.
Oh yeah, 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 lots of those. It's like, ooh, that just suddenly grew a lot, or took off, or um,
Hmm.
whatever. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. What a feeling. I kind of felt like that yesterday when we got that really big retweet from Major Nelson, uh,
Mm.
who has 1.1 million followers on Twitter, and my palms literally started sweating immediately. Like there was
Oh
no,
wow.
yeah, I was like, okay, that's a potential massive increase to our visibility on social media and perhaps our Discord as well. Oh, okay, that's a lot. So very relatable. What skills do you feel have had the biggest improvements from making before we leave?
I now have any clue at all about art directing, which I didn't before.
Oh, true.
Um, so that's something.
I guess when you're kind of leading a project, questions like that can sort of become like, how long is a piece of string? Because you learn
Hmm.
everything.
Oh yeah,
My God.
yeah, all the things.
Um, for
But yeah, I mean, like project management and um, dealing with players. I mean, I've always had to deal with bug reports, but never with like the person reporting the bug.
mm,
Um, so all that sort of the people skills, the art direction, the production, the um, talking to real people,
running a
players,
business.
kind of thing. Well, yeah, that's why Anna came and joined us because I was drowning a little bit in that part, and she's better at it than me.
Anyway, um, here's the question that I usually ask you first when you come on. How's the update going?
How's the update going? It is going really, really good. Theoretically, if everything goes as planned, which it never does, we might be finished adding all the features by the end of next week.
Oh wow.
Um, there's still, after that, there's still a lot of like, we've got to get the translations done, we've got to do testing, um,
Mm,
and all the rest of it. So it's not anywhere near like finished.
yeah.
But in terms of like actually slamming in all the things that we want the update to do, we are getting close. Um, so that's pretty awesome.
Retna says, "Bring on the
Um,
spa pools." Absolutely,
yep,
absolutely,
definitely. It's all about the spa pools.
absolutely. Yeah, give me those spa pools. Yeah.
Need to add a like a shader so that they've got like steaming water in them.
Oh
That'll be
man,
cool.
I'm gonna live vicariously through that little
Mm.
3D art asset in before we leave.
Yep.
It's gonna be so good. So what's the likely release date at this point?
Um, I mean,
Ballpark.
I really don't know, but ballpark probably late June. Sorry, not late June, late January.
It's so relatable. Um,
Yeah.
Late Jan
month,
sounds
month
good.
starting with J. Yeah, I mean it because we're theoretically finishing in a week and a half, but realistically it'll probably be another week after that. And by
Mm.
that point, there's simply no way we'll get the translations and the QA done by the end of the year. So even if they get partly done by the end of the year, there'll still be more to do start of next year.
Mm.
Um, and also December and January are just terrible times for releasing anything.
No good.
It's
People are on
so
holidays.
so even just an update, it's so crowded with other things, and people are on holiday, and yeah. So late January is probably the earliest.
Do you mind if I show off some of the art assets and the work that you did in Unity?
Sure. What have you got in mind?
But
Oh, you're gonna that video that I shared.
yes.
Okay, cool. Do it.
So before I do it though, everyone just remember that this is a work in progress, and what I'm about to show you might not be in the update. So thanks for your understanding. Sorry if you get mad. Can you see that, Sam?
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
So there's a few things happening in this video that I wanted to ask about. There's this mysterious looking building that's not in the game right now. We did show off the art asset for it last week. And
Yep.
there's also a new menu here on the right hand side. that says choose an
Yep.
option. This will be permanent to this island and irreversible, so choose wisely. Can you discuss what that is a little bit, please?
What the building is.
Mm-hmm. And what that menu
Yep.
means.
Yep. So to take a step back, the purpose of this update, a lot of it is about answering people's feedback. The things
Yeah.
that people have asked about and pointed out and stuff. And we've known for a long time that exploration in the game can become a little bit samey. It's another rainforest island. Oh, it's another grass island.
Yeah.
And you know what you're going to do on them. And the idea that we had was basically to give players a choice. So many, not all islands will, in the update, in a new game, have one of these nanotech spires on them. And if you choose to, you can use it to make a choice of 3 options. And generally, one option will be some small positive thing. It'll improve the island in some small way. Or you can have an option which improves it in a big way but has some kind of downside. Or you can have an option that improves it in a huge way but has some kind of massive downside. And the idea is that, partly, there's new stuff to discover, but also it means that you need to think about these islands differently. All of a sudden, it's no longer, it's just another grass island, but now it's an island where food grows 10 times as fast, but you need to eat 3 times as much. I don't know. There's going to be all kinds of options that it'll be able to do. It might change the biome, the tiles. It might turn itself into a building. It might mean that certain buildings work faster or get constructed faster, or work slower or get constructed slower. It might mean that pollution behaves differently on the island. And so there's all these possibilities, which means that now this island is different, and you need to think about it differently, and that will just add to the interesting decisions you need to make in the later game. Is the idea?
Yeah, thank you. That was really thorough. I appreciate that.
Right.
We've also got. I want to show one of the fun ones. Let's roll the tape. There we go.
Yeah.
When I tell you I yelled from surprise, I'm not joking. It scared the bejesus out of me. I was like, what the hell? Let me just pause there. Fantastic. So, Sam.
Yes.
Why did you put nukes in the game?
So, I already had the explosion effect from like the Sphinx laser turret thingy. And the idea here, it's quite simple. It's just a concatenation of things that turn into something. So you've got this nanotech spire, and one of the things it can do is can turn your island tiles into some other kind of biome. In this case, it's turning all your tiles into desert. And there are some buildings that you cannot construct on certain tiles, like you cannot construct fields on a desert.
You sure can't.
So makes perfect sense that if the nanotech spire is turning your tiles into desert, in some way it needs to get rid of all of your fields. Now, I could have been nice and have them just kind of deconstruct and leave their resources behind, but I was like, I'm going to have some fun with this, and just added the explosion in, and there you go.
So funny.
Also, I'm assuming that most of the time, if you land on an island with one of these spires, the first thing that you would do is explore it, and so you wouldn't get massive explosions. But if you want, then sure, why not?
Congratulations, grass be sand now.
Yep.
So funny. For the record, We didn't put nukes in the game. That was a joke. Please don't take that seriously. Oh my god. Great stuff. I'm so looking forward to this update coming out. Is Sam regressing or something? Bowie says. I mean, maybe. It's been a busy year. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's have a cheeky little look at some models.
Yeah.
So what's this all about?
I'm waiting for the picture to turn up. There you go.
Hey.
So another thing that we're adding is decorative building. So buildings that have no in-game effect, they're just there to look pretty. So clearly one of them is a statue of a space whale.
Like a big boy.
Yep. And we decided to make them things that you earn. So for example, you can build the statue of a space whale after you've survived a space whale attack. And there's others that you get. No, those are Bowie. Those are 3D models, screenshotted by the artist, so they look potentially a little bit better or different than they do in game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's decorative buildings you earn for cleaning up pollution, reaching a certain population size, various in-game reaching points in the game. I think there's one that you get if you colonize a particular kind of island biome, that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's going to be cool kind of having like little rewards for achieving milestones in the game.
Yeah.
Basically in-game achievement trophies. Yeah, kind of. Just
Effectively,
your stuff look cool. You're doing a Steam broadcast next week, right?
That's the theory.
Yeah, on our 30th, which will be People's 29th. So if you wanna see Sam in all of his glory over on Steam, keep an eye out for when our Steam broadcast event is published. Alright. Thanks, Sam. Thank you again.
No worries.
And I'll see you on here again in 2 weeks' time for another news update.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Sam.